Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a theme team that worked way better than it ever should have, the Triple Bug Steal theme team. This team consists of a Sableye on the lead, Shadow Scizor as the safe switch, and Trash Wormadam as the closer. If I see a fire type, it's immediately game over, but if I don't, this team actually worked way better than expected. I went 8-2 with it and climbed almost to 3100 elo. So without further ado, let's opt into the matches and check out the Triple Bug Steal team in action in the Halloween Cup. Hopping into the first match, picking up a bit of a tough lead, Escavalier into Sableye. Sableye does resist the counters, and on top of that, they're able to outpace me as well. They're going to fire off the foul play. I do survive foul play from this range, but not by much. I'm going to fire off the last second Mega Horn. This way, I guarantee either massive damage or early shield advantage. My opponent commits the shield, and in comes Shadow Scizor. Shadow Scizor going for the Night Slash right away. I'm really hoping this is enough to KO. Night Slash! Barely not enough to KO, and I will be forced to use my first shield. That is unfortunate that Sableye was able to tank there. They're going to bring in Shadow Drapion. I'm going to farm up energy, switch, and then catch onto Trash Wormadam. Wormadam is the bulk of the team, so when possible, I do like to try and catch moves onto it. So they are an Aqua Tail Drapion. Drapion is going to farm up a ton of energy and then bring in Shadow Skuntank, and that energy on Drapion is very concerning. I fire off the Bug Buzz. I'm able to grab the final shield. Honestly, getting the final shield is quite nice. I'm actually going to let the Wormadam go here. They're going to fire off a Flamethrower that will easily KO, and now it's all up to Shadow Scizor. I need to farm up until I get a Night Slash and an Iron Head, because the thing is, Shadow Scizor wins CMP over Drapion, so they can have all the energy in the world, but it's not going to matter, because we leave with the Iron Head loaded, we win CMP over the Shadow Drapion, Shadow Scizor taking out the Drapion, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, sending a Escavalier into Toxicroak. This is a very nice lead. Opponent save switches into Sableye, and I respond with my Shadow Scizor. These bullet punches add up quite a bit, and so will the Night Slash. I'm going to fire off the Night Slash. Night Slash gets the shield, and I get the boost. Shadow Scizor is about to go off. I am going to start committing shields to the Scizor, and look at the bullet punch damage. Oh my goodness. I'm firing off another Night Slash. Are they willing to give up the final shield? They are not. They're going to let it go, and they're probably going to be bringing back in that Toxicroak. Toxicroak, at the very least, is going to resist the bullet punches, but I am a boosted Shadow Scizor, so these Night Slashes are going to hurt. First one deals a ton of damage to Toxicroak. I'm able to get to a second one, but they make a nice catch, catching it onto Azumarill. Azumarill is definitely a tough Pokemon for this team to see, but I got some chip damage with the Night Slash, and now I'm going to bring in my Trash Wormadam. Wormadam is going to start firing off these Iron Heads. The Iron Heads are going to do some solid chip damage onto the Azu, but Azu is just insanely bulky, able to shake that damage off and fire back. Thankfully, they are not running Hydro Pump, so they're only able to hit for resisted damage in this matchup. They're going to fire off another move. They go for the Play Rough. Again, that is going to be resisted. I'm going to farm up and then go for another Iron Head. This Iron Head should be taking out the Azu. Opponent is going to let it go. In comes Toxicroak. Toxicroak is going to be fired off a Brine. That's fine by me. I'm going to let that through. They're able to farm down, but I still have a very healthy Escavalier that is going to be able to finish this fight. Drill Run is going to get the shield. Opponent desperately trying to reach enough brines, but that is just not going to happen because Escav lives a brine. So I'm going to be able to tank the first brine, shield the second, and it's not possible to hold three at the same time. So I'm able to reach the Drill Run. Drill Run will be more than enough to take out the Toxicroak and secure the win. Hopping into the next match, leading Escavalier into Drapion. This is a very positive lead for Escav. I'm able to resist the Poison Stings, and on top of that, I should live any one move that they throw here. So I'm going to let this through. They're going to fire off the Crunch. That does a lot of damage, but I'm able to survive it. I'm going to farm up and then fire off the Drill Run on the CMP type because Escav has a higher attack. Drill Run gets the shield, and since they shielded, I'm more than happy to shield back. I'm in no danger of being farmed down here. So again, I'm just going to overfarm quite a bit and then fire off the drill run on the CMP tied to the crunch. So that way I'm always making my opponent make the shielding decision. They decide to let it go. They're going to bring in Azu. I'm going to go for the drill run, and then I think I need to pivot out of here. I don't want to give Azu a big energy lead, so I'm going to fire off the drill run and then bring in my Trash Wormadam. They're staying in and firing off energy. That's perfectly fine with me. They fire off the Ice Beam, and in the back, they have Dragalge. Let's go. I'm going to fire off an Iron Head. This Iron Head is going to hit for some solid neutral damage. Dragalge is forced to go for the neutral Aqua Tails in this matchup. Aqua Tail doesn't get stabbed, so it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I continue to farm. I believe I should live this Aqua Tail as well. Aqua Tail gets me very low. I'm able to get the KO, and I leave with the Iron Head loaded to fire at the Azu. Azu commits the shield. In comes Shadow Scizor, and this game is over because I will be able to reach my Iron Head. I commit the shield on the play rough. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Hopping into the next match, leading a Scavalier into Toxicroak. Toxicroak is a pretty big issue for this team. I'm going to stay in with the Scav and try and play it out. They're going to fire off a Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb is not going to KO from here, so I'm going to let that through and return fire with the Drill Run, but my opponent makes a beautiful catch, catching the Drill Run onto their Umbreon. That is very unfortunate for me. I'm going to farm up, try and get to a Drill Run, but I do get farmed down. I'll bring in Shadow Scizor to hopefully be able to take out the Umbreon, and then I have to hope that Wormadam is going to be able to close in the back. I farm up, they're able to reach another foul play. Things honestly not looking great for me here. I'm going to continue to farm up here. I'm going to farm up, fire off a move on CMP. I don't think Night Slash would have quite KO'd there, so I will go for the Iron Head. Iron Head guarantees the KO. I know they're probably going to be bringing back in that Toxicroak, and if they do, I will immediate switch. Confusions, chunking the Toxicroak in the back. They have Shadow Drapion, and unfortunately, at a shield disadvantage, this is looking like it's game over. I'm going to try and figure out a way to win this, but the odds are definitely stacked against me here. And on top of that, they get the Crunch debuff. Ironhead is able to get the shield. I continue to farm up with the Wormadam. They actually let me reach the Ironhead. This is kind of nice. Ironhead does get that final shield, and they're going to fire off a move. At this point, I have to try and trust in Shadow Scizor, so I let the crunch through. In comes Scizor. They're going to be firing off a move. I can overfarm as much as possible here, and then try and go for a move to KO, but they bring in the Toxicroak. I fire off the Night Slash. I need this to be enough. It is not. They're able to reach a move, and unfortunately, we are going to lose a heartbreaking game. Hopping into the next match, leading a Scavalier into another Sableye. Same game plan as before. I'm just going to stay in this lead, try and get shield advantage, and then hope that once the Sableye is taken care of, that Trash Wormadam is going to have play versus the backline. I'm going straight for the Mega Horn on the CMP tie. Mega Horn gets the shield, and at this point, Scav has done its job. I'm going to let this go. They're going to be able to farm down. They do leave with some energy, but I have shield advantage for Shadow Scizor. In comes Scizor. They're going to go for the foul play right away. I will commit the shield and then overfarm quite a bit before I take them out. My opponent does not want to let that happen. They pivot into Toxapex. I bank a Night Slash for later and bring in Trash Wormadam. Trash Wormadam is going to be able to tank at least 2 brines in this matchup, so I don't have to shield for a while. Meanwhile, these confusions are really starting to add up. The unfortunate thing about this matchup is that Toxapex is resisting both of my charge moves. I'm going to go for the Iron Head. Not going to be doing a ton of damage, but it should assist in me being able to farm down. I think I probably will commit my final shield on this brine, just because I'm going to be able to leave with a ton of energy to threaten either the Sableye or whatever they happen to have in the back. So I am able to get the farm down. They bring in Sableye, and I'm going for the Iron Head here. Iron Head will do quite a lot of damage. It lands. I bring in Scizor, go for the snipe. In the back, they have Tentacruel. I need to start spamming out these Night Slashes as fast as possible. Night Slash lands. I continue to farm up, and I'm firing off Night Slash number 2. This is going to probably be getting that final shield, which it does. I get the boost, and my opponent lost track of my energy, and I'm able to reach a 3rd Night Slash. Night Slash gets them to 1 HP, and Scizor gets a double boost. They're forced to go for the Skull to take me out. Wormadam gets the confusion down. I leave with the Iron Head. Iron Head will be taking care of the Sableye as we are able to secure the win. Hopping into the next match, leading a Scavalier into Dragalge. Honestly, this is an incredibly good Pokemon for my team to see, as my entire team is able to resist Dragon Tail. They're staying in, so I'm just going straight for the Drill Run. Drill Run will do a ton of damage if it lands. Dragalge commits the shield. They continue to farm up, and they allow me to throw another Drill Run on the CMP tie. This way, I get to force both of their shields, which works out very nicely for me, and I'm just going to let the Escavalier go, because 2-shield Shadow Scizor is incredibly powerful. I bring in Scizor, they're going to fire off an Aqua Tail to try and start grabbing those shields back. I will, of course, commit the shield, go for the Undertap, but they make a very nice switch as they're able to catch the Night Slash onto Toxapex. Toxapex is going to be able to tank this damage quite well, as Toxapex is notoriously tanky. I'm going to fire off the Night Slash here. Night Slash, able to land. Shadow Scizor gets another boost, and now I am definitely shielding up my Scizor. Brine does get the shield. I'm going to farm up as much as I can and fire off the Night Slash on the CMP tie to the next Brine. This will KO. I know Dragalge has a move, so if I see the Dragalge, I do have to switch and catch the move onto Wormadam. I no longer have the boost on my Scizor, but I am close to a Night Slash loaded. In the back, they have a Frostlass, and they are about to get absolutely eaten alive by Trash Wormadam. Shadow Ball gets me low, but I'm able to return fire with the Iron Head. Iron Head will be doing massive damage to the Frostlass. I'm able to farm down. Back in comes Dragalge. Dragalge gets farmed down as well, and that is a good game. Dream lead in the next match, Escavalier into Shadow Tyranitar. Opponent save switches into Azumarill, and I respond with Trash Wormadam. Wormadam is the only Pokemon on my team that struggles against Tyranitar, since the other two are able to hit it for super effective damage with their fast moves. So my goal here is basically just to play out the Zero Shield versus Azumarill, and if I lose Switch, I'm honestly not too worried about it, because both Shadow Scizor and Escav can put in a lot of work against Tyranitar. They're going to fire off a Play Rough, perfectly fine by me. I'm going to let this go, throw 2 Confusions, and then fire off another Iron Head. This will not KO, but it is going to be getting the Azumarill quite low. Can we Confusion down here? Wormadam not able to Confusion down. They're able to reach a last second move. I'm just going to let this go. As I mentioned, I'm not too concerned about switch advantage, and I'm going to farm down with Escavalier. In the back, they have Toxicroak, and suddenly, I really wish that I had my Trash Wormadam. Drill Run does get the shield. Toxicroak continuing to farm up. They're going to fire off a Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb would be lethal from this range, so I will commit the shield because I need to grab their final shield with this Drill Run. And then it's 2 shields to 0 with Shadow Scizor. Drill Run gets the final shield. In comes Scizor, and I am being absolutely shredded by these counters. I'm going to fire off the Night Slash. Night Slash gets them low, and it's a CMP tie. I will commit the final shield. Odds are they're probably bringing in the Tyranitar. In comes the Tyranitar. The smackdowns adding up. Scizor able to reach a last second Night Slash. This is resisted, but it will get the Tyranitar low. Escav counters down the Tyranitar and counters down the Toxicroak as we're able to secure the win. Hopping into the final match, leading Escav into another Toxapex. Great lead, and my opponent is staying in this matchup, which is even better for me. I'm going to fire off the Drill Run on the CMP tie to the Brine. Drill Run does not one-shot, but as you can see, it does some very nice damage onto the incredibly bulky Toxapex. They're going to fire back with the Brine. I'm going to let that through, and then just continue to throw on CMP ties. This way, I'm constantly making them make the first shielding decision in the match. Drill Run does get shielded, and since they shielded, I'm perfectly fine with shielding back. So I will shield up the Brine, and again, farm up quite a bit of energy, but my opponent does not want to let that continue to happen. They save switch into Drapion, they go for the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail is barely not enough to KO, and I'm going to be able to reach a last second Drill Run. Drill Run gets the final shield, and it is Shadow Scizor time. Scizor continuing to farm as they're going to fire off a move. They're going to fire off an Aqua Tail, hoping to try and reach another one, but Shadow Scizor is going to be able to get to the Iron Head. Iron Head is going to be safely taking out the Drapion. Do they bring back in the Toxapex here? Toxapex is going to return. Scizor continuing to overfarm, firing off the Night Slash again on the CMP tie to the Brine. I'm hoping Night Slash is enough to KO here. Yes, it is. And in the back, they have Umbreon. I farm up again, go for an Iron Head on the CMP tie. Shadow Scizor and Escavalier just win so many useful CMP ties. They're not able to overfarm. They're forced to go for the foul play to KO. In comes Wormadam. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. This team was an absolute blast to run and honestly extremely exceeded my expectations. Fire definitely feels like an underutilized typing in the current Halloween Cup meta, and honestly in the sets that I ran with this team I didn't see a single fire type, and if you don't see fire types then bug steel types can absolutely thrive in the Halloween Cup. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.